Welcome to the second episode of my vlogmas slash gift knitting series. So today is the 17th of December and I'm going to be having quite an exciting day today, which is going to also include a bit of knitting because I'll be taking the train, and so I always like to bring a knitting project for train knitting. And so if you've watched last episode, which I'll leave around here, you might have noticed that I didn't start knitting on my dad's gift knit, which is a pair of socks. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish them in time by next Wednesday, actually. It's a week before Christmas now. So I need to really get started on it. But in terms of my other projects, since the end of that last episode, I didn't work anymore on the cumulus blouse because I think I just wanted to focus on finishing the pair of DK weight socks. And I'm actually, I think, on the bit where I can start doing my toe decreases for the second sock, and then I'll be done with that. I'm not going to bring this on the train because I feel like I'll be done with this in the first half hour of the train, and then I'll have nothing to do for the remaining hour for the train to London. So I'm actually going to make sure I cake this yarn for my dad's socks into a cake of yarn so that I can bring it with me to cast on for the pair of socks that I'm gifting him. All the details of the projects that I'm making for my family as gift knits are all in the first episode, so you can check that out if you want those details. And I'll also make sure to leave my Ravelry down below so you can check out my project pages for all my gifts this year as well. So this, just as a reminder, it's a Symphony by Knit Pro yarn, hand-dyed yarn, which I didn't know was a thing because I've always thought Symphony as the range of tools that Knit Pro has that is quite popular for beginners, and it's an affordable budget needle that is really, really good. Anyway, this is Symphony Terra in the color Cabin in the Woods, which is really fun, and I'm really excited to knit on this because it's such a lovely color. So the plan for today is I'm meeting my mum in London because my parents live in the north of England, but my dad often has to come down to London for work, and so my mum comes as well, and then they often ask me if I'm able to take the train from Cambridge to London so I can meet them in London. Because I was able to make good progress with my PhD work last week, I was able to kind of finish up some things. Therefore, I think I can afford to go to London today, and we're gonna go to a really nice, authentic Japanese restaurant. So if you didn't know about this, my mum is Japanese. I'm half Japanese. I grew up in Japan for 10 years as well. So really excited about nice, authentic Japanese food. And then we're going to check out the V&A, which is my mum and also mine's favorite museum in London, where we're going to check out the exposition on Marie Antoinette style at the V&A. I think it's like how the style of Marie Antoinette, the French queen from the 18th century, has evolved because she was such a fashion icon, and how her style has evolved over time and how it's been kind of retaken and inspired by this style. So yeah, super excited and very excited to get some good progress on my knitting as well, because I find that train knitting is such a good way of getting good progress on any knitting projects. I just put on my music, I usually take a seat with a window view, and I just start knitting, and I really get in the mood somehow on the train. And so yeah, I really need to make progress on my dad's gift knit because honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this stuff. I'm definitely going to finish my brother's socks. I am probably going to finish my mum's cumulus blouse. There hasn't been any updates since the last episode. It's literally just I've got one sleeve left. I've got finished one sleeve. I've got the other sleeve to go. And I need to do maybe like 5 or 10 more centimeters of the body, and then the applied I-cord on the neckline. Interestingly enough, on the cumulus blouse, I thought it was going to be different needle size for the I-cord finishings, but it's all using one needle size, so 4.5 millimeters recommended by the pattern, which means that it's pretty cool because you can get away with a whole project without having to have multiple needle sizes. So once again, I feel like this is a great project for beginners because then it's like pretty low cost, pretty large gauge, relatively large gauge, a really nice product at the end, relatively fast, and also low cost in terms of material because you don't need multiple pairs of needles. But before I'm going to head off to London, I'm actually thinking of squeezing in a run. So I'm going to be doing the Cambridge half marathon again, and I am not really into running at the moment. I've tried to kind of get back to it now. And so I've started a plan for the half marathon training again. So today I'm supposed to do a 4 kilometer run. Now the weather is beautiful. There's a really, really lovely sunrise right now. So I've just had my breakfast. I'm going to wait a bit because I find it quite uncomfortable to run with a full stomach. So I think I'm going to wait maybe half an hour. Also a good time to just drink my coffee. Yeah, we're gonna go for a run and then head off to London. Good morning. I had a lovely, lovely day yesterday with my mum in London. We went to see the Marie Antoinette exposition at the V&A and it was super, super nice. I was kind of expecting it to be more about her influence on modern fashion, but it was actually more about Marie Antoinette's life as a fashion icon herself, and the bit about her influence on modern fashion was much smaller and it was just kind of at the end. So it was more about her life, which was great. And there were some really cool portraits that are very famously painted by this female artist called Lebrun. And I had never seen those portraits in person, so I was really, really happy that I saw them there. And yeah, overall I had a great time in London. I did make quite a bit of progress on, well, quite a bit is a relative word. I made some progress on my dad's socks. So let me show you that. So I took the fast train both to London and from London to Cambridge. So not that much train knitting time as I usually do, because I usually take the longer train that goes to London Liverpool Street Station. But anyway, this is how much I've got. I think it's about, 8 centimeters at this point. I think I need to go to 15 centimeters of the cuff, the leg, before I can start doing the heel flap and gusset. I have doubts that I can finish both socks, but I think I'm going to finish one sock for my dad and then finish the other one whilst I'm staying with them. So that gives me until the 3rd of January to finish 2 socks, which I think is doable. But I also have to finish my other gifts. And actually, yesterday we had some friends over and we were watching some YouTube video series called Jet Lag, and we like to do that on like a regular basis with these friends. And I actually finished my 2nd sock for my brother. Oops, sorry, stray strand of yarn. But so that's one gift completed. Yay! So yeah, I'll block these at some point before I have to leave. Oh, that's another thing I kind of forgot about. I can't really block my stuff at my parents because I don't have the blocking stuff over there. The socks I'll block here. My mother's cumulus blouse, I'll make do with some towels laid out flat, and maybe I'll bring some pins because those are relatively small. But yeah, I hadn't thought of that. And save for my dad's socks. Okay, that is one problem I hadn't really thought about. I might have to bring the sock blocking things, which is fine because those can just fit in the boot and they fit flat, right? They don't take too much space. I think it's gonna be all right. Definitely can't bring the blocking mats for my mum's cumulus blouse, but I think we can just kind of pin it on a towel flat and it will be fine. I really hadn't thought about this. Damn. Anyway, 1 present down, 2 to go. So today the plan is that I'm going to do a bit of work because I need to look at some of the reviews that my supervisor left for me for my manuscript. And then I'm meeting a friend for lunch. She's a friend coming all the way from New York. So I'm very excited to see her. And we're gonna have some lunch together, probably have a walk around a bit. I'm probably gonna come back, do some more work, do some more knitting. And then, because my grandparents are visiting me this weekend in Cambridge, they're staying with me in my flat with my partner for the weekend. So I'm going to have a nice deep house clean, flat clean, tonight ahead of their arrival tomorrow. It's a more chill day than yesterday, although I don't know how much knitting time I can get, given that I've got to do work and see my friends. But I'm going to have my breakfast now. I'm having a huge bowl of Greek yogurt with some berries and honey. And yeah, let's crack on. I'll do work first for maybe an hour because I just need to look up a couple of comments from my supervisor, so I don't think it's going to take me too much time. And then I'm going to move on to continuing with the socks before I have to get ready to meet my friend for lunch. Hello, today is the 31st of December. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas period. I also had my birthday yesterday, so we had a nice time with family. We had my grandparents and my uncle and aunt visiting us at my parents' place, so it was a lovely time overall for this holiday period. Let's do a recap of what I managed to get done for in terms of the gift knits. So, the good news is that I managed to finish my mum's cumulus blouse and it's now washed and blocked as well. I didn't end up bringing any blocking mats, so I just basically laid it out flat. After putting it in the spin mode in the washing machine that they have to drain out as much water as possible. And so yeah, it's looking really lovely and the yarn really softened and bloomed after washing and blocking, so I'm really happy with that. And I think I was a bit concerned whether the armpit area was a bit tight for my mom, but it ended up all relaxing after blocking. So yeah, I think she's gonna be able to wear this in the spring when the weather's a bit warmer. This is more of like a long sleeve top rather than jumper. So yeah, super happy that this is done. And then I already mentioned how my brother's socks were done, but I managed to also block them. I did actually bring the sock blocker with me because they were quite spacious, efficient, so it wasn't too much of a problem to bring these. So yeah, these are nice and blocked and they're looking super soft, and I think my brother's quite happy with them as well. And then in terms of my dad's socks, bit of a pity. I already managed to finish one of the socks and then I'm currently knitting the other one. So today being the 31st of December, we're leaving this place in 4 days. So I've got 4 days to finish a sock. I doubt that's going to happen, but I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to post the finished pair of socks to my parents, to my dad, when they are done and also blocked nicely as well. So yeah, 2 out of 3 presents done and one nearly close to being done. So that's the roundup for this gift knitting season. So I hope you enjoyed the 2 episodes about Vlogmas and gift knitting that I did this year. And let me know if you enjoy this type of content. And then I'll see you in my next episode, which is probably going to be everything I knit in 2025. Thank you very much. Have a happy new year and I'll see you next time. Bye.